欢迎回来，再来看美国国内消息。当地时间10月23日，加紧的弹劾调查引发的政治紧张局势达到了白热化的地步。共和党人冲击了在国会山举行的一次委员会闭门听证会，破坏了一场与乌克兰争议有关的重要作证。而此前一天，一位重要外交官刚刚给出了令人震惊的证词。
Tonight, Republicans on Capitol Hill are coalescing around a more aggressive strategy to fight back against a barrage of damaging revelations stemming from the House impeachment probe. They're discrediting bombshell testimony from the top U.S. diplomat in Ukraine and now offering a new Senate resolution condemning the House Democrats' impeachment inquiry, calling it a sham.
It's out of bounds. It's inconsistent with due process.
And it comes amid damning testimony from diplomat Bill Taylor, who told House investigators that he had been informed by Gordon Sondland, the U.S. ambassador to the European Union, that President Trump put a hold on vital aid to Ukraine until the Ukrainian government announced investigations that could help the president politically. A day after House Republicans stormed the impeachment proceedings and delayed a private deposition from a top defense official for 5 hours, Republicans mounted a more vigorous defense. The GOP contended that because Taylor did not hear from Trump directly that he wanted to withhold the aid for political reasons, his testimony could not be trusted.
Hi, Senator.
Hey.
Are you okay with what came out in the Bill Taylor testimony that the president apparently had directed the military aid to be withheld in exchange for a public declaration of investigations that could help him politically?
Did he talk to the president?
He talked to Ambassador Sondland, who talked to the president.
Oh, that's hearsay.
Other Republicans echoed that line, saying they needed to hear more information first.
When you watch a trial and you want to get a fair assessment of guilt or innocence, you don't just listen to the lawyer's opening statements.
And a day after, Senate Majority Whip John Thune said the picture emerging from Taylor's testimony is, quote, not a good one. On Thursday, he gave a response the White House would like.
From what I could tell, a lot of the interactions and statements that he made were based on secondhand information, and I think those are obviously points that can be disputed.
That's what he said. The picture that painted of the president wasn't great.
Well, it was based on the reporting of what you guys were saying about it, but I went back yesterday and actually read what was said, and there's a lot of secondhand information.
Other Republicans continue to dodge questions.
Do you have any concerns with that? That was in Bill Taylor's testimony. Senator, did you want to weigh in about the Bill Taylor testimony? Did you have any concerns about what he said?
Democrats say the impeachment inquiry is pressing ahead, with plans to interview a senior State Department official on Saturday behind closed doors, and at least 2 more next week, including a top National Security Council official, Tim Morrison, who was referenced in Taylor's testimony. Taylor testified that on September 7th, Morrison relayed a phone call between the president and Ambassador Sondland, in which the president said he was not asking for a quid pro quo, but wanted President Zelensky of Ukraine to go to a microphone and say he is opening investigations of Biden and 2016 election interference, and that President Zelensky should want to do this himself.
众议院民主党人对美国总统川普进行了弹劾调查，迄今已持续1个月。随着调查进展，共和党人展开猛烈反击，导致听证会延后4小时。24日，参议院共和党人也采取行动，共和党籍参议院林瑟格雷厄姆和参议院共和党领袖麦康奈尔提出议案，谴责众议院弹劾调查过程，呼吁众议院就发起正式调查举行投票。
House Democrats are plotting their next moves in the rapidly growing impeachment inquiry.
But was there a quid pro quo?
After a slew of closed-door-only testimony for weeks, sources tell CNN Democrats are now aiming to move from the behind-the-scenes phase of the investigation into the public phase by mid-November. But sources caution that timeline could still slip until after Thanksgiving.
That will be the point where I think that we will try and figure out what the best combination of people to speak in a more transparent and public way would be.
That next new public phase would include releasing transcripts of the closed-door depositions, holding public hearings, and bringing back some of the witnesses they've already heard from, like former U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine, Marie Yovanovitch, Trump's former top Russia advisor, Fiona Hill, Trump's top diplomat in Ukraine, Bill Taylor, and the U.S. Ambassador to the EU, Gordon Sondland. Once that phase is done, the committees would then release a public report to draw up articles of impeachment and vote in the House Judiciary Committee. That would be followed by a full House vote on articles of impeachment, potentially by the end of the year.
What we're doing right now is a first pass. We are interviewing the witnesses that we know may have been involved and actually paring down that information so that you can pull out what's relevant for the public.
Meantime, some Republicans continue to cast doubt on Bill Taylor's testimony this week.
Did he talk to the president?
He talked to Ambassador Sondland, who talked to the president.
Oh, that's hearsay.
As GOP sources tell CNN, Taylor's opening statement, which laid out the clearest evidence so far of an apparent quid pro quo, is, quote, reverberating, calling it a game changer. Also today, responding to pressure from the president,
The Republicans have to get tougher.
Senator Lindsey Graham introducing a resolution condemning the House's impeachment process.
The process you're engaging in regarding the attempted impeachment of President Trump is out of bounds. It's inconsistent with due process as we know it.
下周还有4名美国联邦政府官员预定到国会众议院作证。分析专家称，从民主党目前策略来看，似乎并无速战速决的想法。目前有消息人士指出，议长南希·佩洛西已经推迟了针对美国总统川普的弹劾时间表。而就一份民意调查显示，目前48.6%的美国人支持通过弹劾使特朗普下台，43.3%的人反对。
For the first time, House Democrats expecting an official from inside the White House to testify in the impeachment inquiry. Tim Morrison, a top Russia and Europe advisor on President Trump's National Security Council, who listened in on President Trump's July 25th phone call with Ukraine's leader, is scheduled to appear next week. Sources telling CNN he's expected to corroborate key elements of top U.S. diplomat to Ukraine Bill Taylor's testimony Tuesday.
Bill Taylor's testimony was devastating to the president, and Bill Taylor essentially laid out a quid pro quo between the Trump administration and the president with the Ukrainian leader.
Two sources telling CNN Morrison will contend that he didn't see anything wrong with what the Trump administration did, although one says there will be, quote, nuance. Sources say Republicans worry his testimony could fuel the Democrats' push towards impeachment, and they hope it will lack any first-hand knowledge of the president's actions. The New York Times reports impeachment investigators are negotiating with attorneys for former National Security Advisor John Bolton to be deposed in private. Bolton reportedly shared concerns about Trump's personal attorney Rudy Giuliani's involvement in U.S. foreign policy with Ukraine. That's according to the president's former top Russia advisor Fiona Hill's testimony last week. This as Democrats consider the size and scope of articles of impeachment, while Trump's congressional allies continue to try to slow the investigation.
I think if we were doing this, you'd be beating the out of us.
Senate Judiciary Chairman Lindsey Graham introducing a resolution co-sponsored by Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell condemning the Democrats' impeachment process.
I'm not here to tell you that Donald Trump's done nothing wrong. I'm not here to tell you anything other than that the way they're going about it is really dangerous for the country.
Meanwhile, the Department of Justice turning its probe into the origins of the Trump-Russia investigation into a criminal inquiry led by the Attorney General William Barr. The move, first reported by the New York Times, giving federal prosecutor John Durham the ability to use subpoenas for testimonies going forward.
今年的歌坛独立电影提名名单日前公布，入围的一些影片已经引起了评委会及影迷们的关注，例如华裔女导演王露露的处女作《别告诉她》，以及围绕美国黑人社区现状创作的《旧金山的最后一个黑人》等等，将竞争年度最佳独立电影。今年的颁奖典礼将在12月2日于纽约举行。
I've been
what I love about Nicole.
loving you.
She's a great dancer, infectious.
Too long.
She is a mother who plays, really plays.
Stop now.
4 movies lead the way in this year's Gotham Awards nominations. Marriage Story is up for 3 honors, including Best Feature. So is Lulu Wang's semi-autobiographical film The Farewell and Uncut Gems. The Last Black Man in San Francisco also received 3 nominations from the Independent Filmmakers Project, though not a Best Feature nod. The Gotham Awards are in New York, December 2nd.
Don't know why they put all of this on us when we're so young. Done a pretty good job.
Louis Tomlinson is hitting the road. The One Direction member just dropped his new single, We Made It, off his upcoming album, Walls, and he's preparing for his first solo world tour, launching March 9th in Barcelona. The North American leg of the tour begins June 9th in Minneapolis. Casey Musgraves has set a Guinness World Record. The singer and the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum in Nashville set the mark for the world's largest display of coloring pages. People from more than 30 states submitted more than 1,500 pages for the museum's exhibition, Casey Musgraves, All of the Colors, about the Grammy winner's life and career. The exhibit runs until next June. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
在目前电影院线已经竞争颇为激烈的情况下，本周将上映3部电影，对周末票房冠军发起冲击。但由于新片的类型面对的观众较为局限，票房专家认为《沉睡魔咒2》或《小丑》可能会继续坚挺的表现，维持住良好的票房。
These streets are a war zone.
Black and Blue stars Naomi Harris as a rookie New Orleans police officer who finds herself caught between crooked cops and a community that cares more about the color of her uniform than that of her skin. Analysts expect the crime drama to debut with $6 million or more, likely the weekend's top new movie, though not nearly enough to top Joker or Maleficent, Mistress of Evil.
These streets are a war zone. You're blue now.
Naomi Harris returns to the big screen as a rookie cop in Black and Blue.
Listen, you already got rid of everyone that could talk.
What the hell are you doing here, rookie?
Whoa, 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 whoa. Just relax.
We're all cops here.
This isn't what it looks like.
What the hell did you do?
Shut a body cam on!
There has never, ever been an African-American female cop as the lead of any movie. So it's very historical. It's huge, in fact.
Are you injured? Come on, we got you.
Brody, we found West. We got her. He's a second in the deal.
It's all right. We got you. West, hey, don't be stupid, West. All he wants is the body cam.
With fellow officers out to get her and a hostile community, she's determined to survive and expose the corrupt cops.
Load the footage on that camera.
My cup runneth over.
Every cop and criminal in this city is coming to find her. I want her dead. Put everybody on her.
Director Deon Taylor calls Black and Blue an action movie that the audience can learn from.
The meaning of the movie is very simple, which is be human. Be the change. If you see something, actually say something. Doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on.
Murder's murder. Don't matter who you are.
What if an app could tell you how long?
I got 63 years.
Talk about a killer app. Countdown features a phone app that claims to predict when a person will die. All in good fun until it tells a nurse she has just 3 days to live. Box office watchers are counting on a $5 million opening for the horror thriller.
This is a battle for the brightest minds of America. Today, the impossible becomes possible.
The Current War stars Benedict Cumberbatch and Michael Shannon as pioneering electricity rivals Thomas Edison and George Westinghouse. Originally set for release in 2017, it went back on the shelf when the Weinstein Company crumbled. Now it's finally out, with editing changes prompting a new title, The Current War Director's Cut. The drama doesn't figure to spark much interest. It's looking at a debut of just $3 million or so.
This is a battle for the brightest minds of America. Today, the impossible becomes possible. And the man that controls that current controls the future.
I hope you brought your checkbooks.
The Current War Director's Cut dramatizes the fight to rule the new electric power industry, pushing direct current Benedict Cumberbatch as Thomas Edison.
Our future's not going to be paved with bricks, but with copper.
And Tom Holland as Edison's worshipful young secretary.
You are the smartest man I know. Beyond building miracles out of thin air, I was most impressed by your principles.
Advocating alternating current, George Westinghouse, played by Michael Shannon.
Thomas Alva Edison is a charlatan who preys on the fears of the common man because I have the better system. And because I do have the better system, Westinghouse Electric shall endure.
And Nicholas Hoult as inventor Nikola Tesla.
I will be the greatest provider of electrical power in the world. Better than Edison.
This is costing us a fortune.
Westinghouse stole from me! 3, 2, 1.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
以上就是今天的汉天新闻，接下来请收看汉天生活报道。